Hey guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Kenroy here. Now if you're new to the channel, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Now today I've got a DIY project which is in two parts, and I will be uploading the second half in the week to come. Now we live in an 1870s cottage which is quite cute. However, it is an old property, which means it is very poorly insulated. So Sophia and I have been working bit by bit to try and restore and modernize this old place. And you've seen in previous videos where we've done a garden renovation, we've also done the downstairs living room and kitchen, and recently we finally gave our bedroom a makeover. Now in today's video we'll be going up into the loft with a DIY project where I will be trying to insulate our loft using this PIR insulation board. Now there's very little space in the loft, as you can probably see, and everything is all over the place. Nothing seems to be straight. And as you can imagine, it's full of all sorts of stuff that we've accumulated over the years. And so I always knew this was going to be a tricky project, but I never in a million years thought it would have been this difficult. And you'll see why in a moment. First things first, you can see me investigating, seeing what I'm working with, which I probably should have done a bit more of before buying all of the insulation boards. Now I managed to get these insulation boards for £500 for around 14. I made sure to order more than enough as I didn't want to run out halfway through the project. Now I bought these online and they do vary in price. I would definitely say shop around as they all pretty much do the same thing, but of course you can end up buying the more expensive stuff, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend for a project like this. Now I was so surprised when I pulled out the old insulation in the loft. Oh my gosh, look at the state of this. Just taken up some of the very poor quality insulation that we got up here, and underneath there's a thick layer of rubble, which is quite shocking actually. Can't believe this. All of that rubble has been left on the ceiling, which is shocking. It's going to be a lot of cleaning up for me, guys. So I've basically thrown everything in a massive pile on one side of the loft, as you can see, in order to make space for the other side. That's the plan anyway. Okay guys, so I managed to pick up a basic overall. These are meant to be some disposable ones. I'm hoping to wear this while I'm in the loft, although it's going to be quite hot up there. I've also got myself some rubble bags because I'm going to need these for all the rubble which I'll be sweeping up from upstairs. Honestly, a simple job is never simple. I always shop around to see where I can get it the most affordable. Plus, Toolstation currently have 7% off if you shop using Top Cashback. I'll put the link down below, so for every £1 you spend, you get 7% back as cashback, which is pretty good if you ask me. So these are the dust masks. Your standard dust mask with a little filter. Didn't want to splash out on something which I didn't necessarily need. I've got a few of these so I can change them up. And yeah, wish me luck guys. Time to head up into the loft. First things first, we need to get it tidy and clean, because tomorrow we're hoping to get those insulating boards into the loft, so I need to make sure that it's nice and clean to start with. Tell you what, it's so hot up here already. You can hear the roofers up top. Okay, so I've started lifting up these pieces of board here, which are a mixture of sort of rough MDF and some tongue and groove MDF. And yeah, it is all kind of funky up here. I still can't believe how much lower the ceiling is. If you can look through that hole there, the ceiling is where you can see all that rubble, and it's dropped significantly below where, if you ask me, we should have the joists. So I'm not sure why that is. I must say though, on this side of the house it is a lot higher. well, maybe about 5 centimeters higher than on that side. And the reason for this is, I think that because these were 2 separate houses before they were merged into one, half of the roof is actually higher than the other. So this house here, this 2-bedroom where I'm standing over, is higher than that 2 bedrooms over there, if that makes sense. Hence the drop in the floor level at the top. Also, in the bedrooms, to enter into this bedroom here, there's a step up. I thought that was to do with the staircase. Well, who knows? This is a trick, and the problem that we have with these old houses, everything is all over the place all at once. So I'm going to carry on now. I'm trying to clear some of that rubble, that plasterboard and gunk over there as best as I can, because I'm hoping to keep them as clear as possible, because that's where we're going to be putting the pieces of insulated board, and so I need it to be clear as possible. What I will then have to do is nail some 2x2 on top of these joists going across to add some height, because the depth from that joist there to the ceiling level isn't high enough. The boards are going to be filling these gaps here, and if you look here, the depth is 100 mil for the board, so if I put board in here, it's actually going to stick out. So I will have to get some 2x2s at least to then nail across here on each one of these, going across, to increase the height, so that when we put the insulation board in, then we put these boards back over on top, you know, there will be a gap and allow for circulation and so on. So that's the hope anyway. But for now, it's just about clearing it, making it as clean as possible. You can see a lot of the cabling for the lights in each bedroom as well, so we've got to be mindful of those. I will have to put down some markings to show where they're located once we start covering them up. But for now, we're just going to crack on with this hot, sweaty, itchy, dirty work. But it's either I pay somebody thousands of pounds to do it, or I give it a go. The way I figure, if I do most of the work, even if I can't complete it, it will then be a lot cheaper to call somebody in, as long as I don't make any big mistakes, which I'm hoping won't be the case. So I need to clear that box. This is where we used to have a water tank sitting on there. I need to clear all of this area, and hopefully tomorrow, I'm not sure, but it'll probably be sort of these plaster boards up here that will be removed, because this one's got a light coming in it. I might not mess with that one, but the guys will help me hopefully to load some of the insulating boards in, so I can cut them up here, which will be a real lifesaver. But I doubt I'll be able to fit all 14 of them in, so even if I can fit like half of that, that would be a really good thing. It certainly would be more manageable rather than cutting them downstairs, up the stairs, then up into the loft, and then to be fitted in here. And these are also irregular. The width between each one of these are so different, so it's not like I can just cut all pieces the same. And on top of that, shall I say, which makes matters worse, is the joists aren't continuous. As you can see, they're joined there side by side, so the gap will be wide here, then it goes narrow here, and just like up there, it's wider at the top, then it goes narrow along here. Nothing is ever easy, but I've got to keep it going. All of this just sitting up here on this, I don't know if you want to call it subfloor. That's the ceiling for the bedroom, the main bedroom, and it's got this other part which is a bit strange, the fact that you've got such a big drop from the ceiling. Oh, it's so hot up here, I'm sweating. Just trying to clear as much of this as possible. It's the old insulation, and we continue. Oh my word. Note to self, make sure you win the lottery. I'm just in the loft, it's just after 4, maybe 5, kind of lost track of time. and I'm here currently ripping up all of this horrible fiberglass insulation. This looks like maybe it was around 10 mil, but it's been compacted quite a bit, so it was underneath the floorboards. But honestly, after lifting up the floorboards, I was shocked to see how hideous it was under there. In fact, there was so much old plaster rubble which was there and still is. I've been taking my time to actually sweep it up as best as I can, in order to allow me to then hopefully later on put down the insulated PIR boards, which we bought online. These boards are really expensive, but they're meant to be superior to this wall, because you can actually get similar R values at a much smaller depth, so we won't have to raise the ceiling too high. That's the hope anyway. I still will be adding some 2x2 pieces of wood on top of the joist to lift the floor ever so slightly by around 50 mil, and then we'll put back the boards on top once that's all done. It all sounds easy, but as you can see from around me, it's a complete mess up here. Over there under the crawl spaces, we've got a really low roof, so I can't even stand up here, guys. Being 6'2", is probably around 3 foot of height, so not a lot of space to stand, unfortunately. So it's a hard slug, but I'm just going to take my time. I know it's going to take me a while to do. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get the roof off tomorrow and maybe fit some of the boards in through the roof. Otherwise, it's going to be the old-fashioned way. Measure down the ladder, go downstairs, outside, cut the board, bring it back upstairs, up the ladder, into the loft, and then fit it in. So it's going to be a hard slug, but I'm hoping that this will be well worth it, because it cost me around £500 to buy all the boards. I'll reuse these MDF boards which we've got up here and chipboard to lay on top. But if I was to get someone else to come in, the day rate probably at least £150. It's going to be a good 3-4 days work. It's going to cost me a considerable amount of money, and that's conservatively speaking. We've got to pay for it to be disposed of, all of this stuff. All in all, I'm looking around at least £2,000 worth of work to bring up all this rubbish, all these floorboards, get the stuff cut, put in. So I'm trying to save myself at least a good £1,000 to £1,500. That's the hope anyway. Plus, it's good experience. I've never done this before. I always wanted to give it a go. And I'm hoping, above all, that it's going to save us a lot of money on our heating, because some of the floor has some insulated plasterboard on the main bedroom, so our bedroom, to the front of the house. But from around midpoint in the loft towards the smaller office room, there's no insulating plasterboard, so that room is always colder, while our bedroom has always been warmer, so that's a good sign. So I'm hoping with this 100mm PIR board, I think it's Kotex, can't remember what the brand is called, it should improve the heat, the R value. Also over the girls' bedroom, I'm really looking forward to seeing how it will improve that, but that's for the future. We've got to focus on trying to get these 2 bedrooms done first, and once these are done, I'll move all of the stuff over there to this side, and then we'll try and repeat the same process. It's not been easy. I've got 2 days off work, so I'm trying to get as much done as possible in these 2 days. If I can clear the space up here, I've been taking stuff to the tip to dispose of for free. If I can clear this space myself, then it will be a lot easier. I need to take off that little stand over there, which was where we used to have an old heating system to boil the water. So I need to clear all of that, make it nice and flat, get rid of all the rubble, as you can see under there. There's some cables that we don't need, like this aerial antenna. And then once that's all done, then, you know, we'll be able to hopefully get things going. And I also broke my phone, so I'm using my backup phone to record this. I broke my Pixel 7, which is my darling phone, my baby. So I'm using my old, well, my mom's old phone. So yeah,
it's not the best. Hopefully you guys can see me all right, but I'm just gonna crack on. I would love to vlog this in more detail, but it's too hot up here. Got very limited time, so I'm just gonna crack on, and I'll probably do like a breakdown towards the end of the series to let the dust, to let you guys know what it's like. This is not an easy DIY project, and it all depends on the quality of your loft. If you've got a nice, clear, easy loft, like my neighbor's loft is just completely empty, you just throw the stuff down and that's it. But of course mine, being a 1870s house, cottage, whatever you want to call it, yeah, there's problems. I'll probably see you guys in the next video, so look after yourself and God bless. Take care.